It's just coming up to 7 p.m. and you're listening to Radio Saltaire. Now, Year 5 have been tasked for their learning log to find out as much as they can about World War II. So we sent out our roving reporter, Ralph Morgan, to interview some of his relatives about their experiences of living through the war.
Hi. So, when were you born?
I was born in 1941.
So you were a child in World War II?
I was.
What was World War II like?
All I can remember about that, because I was only 3 years of age, was we had an air raid warning, and our, what do you call it, what's the place that you, air raid shelter,
Yeah?
which was underground. We had to run across the road. This was in Coventry, run across the road into the air raid shelter. And while we were running across the road, I remember, at 3 years of age, an aeroplane up in the sky, obviously, going towards Coventry. It was obviously one of our aeroplanes. Of course, he didn't fire any bullets. I hope he didn't fire any bullets. I didn't hear any.
Did it have the RAF sign on it?
I don't know. And we stayed in there for about 3 hours till someone come and said it's all quiet. So then we went back home again.
Do you remember about rationing?
Yes. We were allowed to have, I think it was a quarter of sweets. That happened until 1954. We were only allowed a quarter of sweets. I think it was a quarter of sweets a month. That wasn't a lot of very many sweets, was it?
No. Do you remember a really scary experience in World War II?
Yeah. It was one afternoon, a barrage balloon, which they used to stop the aircraft flying low, broke away from its moorings, and it had a big, thick, or several thick steel cables, and they were dragging along the road. And we thought, or my mum and dad thought, it would bash into the house, because these thick cables are this thick, and they would have ripped the roof off or damaged the house, but it didn't. The wind took it away. That's all I can remember about the war.
Do you remember any advice that your parents gave you in World War II?
No, I was too small.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the interview.
Send the cheque to 19 Orchard Close.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as you like, it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Bye.
Bye then.
Hello.
Hello.
So, when were you born?
I was born in January 1939.
So you were a child in World War III?
Two, yes.
What was World War II like?
I don't really remember a lot of it, but I can remember when I was about 3 or 4, my mum was deaf, so I had to listen for the air raid warnings, or my aunt used to knock the door, and I would have to tell Mum to get up because the air raid sirens had gone off, right? And then we would have to go down to the air raid shelter, which was quite a way away, and I remember houses burning.
Did you know anything about rationing?
Yes, because we didn't get sweeties. We had to save the coupons for sweet stuff for decoration on cakes or anything like that. Mum had to save everything, little ounces of butter and stuff like that to make cakes.
What was the scariest experience you've been in around that time?
I remember being in my aunt's house and an aeroplane going over. We were listening to a record on an old-fashioned radiogram, like with a microphone on it. And as I was looking out the window, I saw 2 planes fighting in the sky. you to be very careful. Listen to what people tell you. It's all according to what type of a war it was, because now in the new era it's different types of warfare, isn't it? When we were young, it was just the bombing and the burning of buildings. But now it's quite scary, isn't it? But you would have to listen to your parents and do as you were told and keep to a strict rule.
Did you like World War II much?
I don't remember a lot about it, only the things that actually happened, like getting my mum out of bed. I can remember us sleeping in one room, my brother in one, like a little cot bed, because he was younger than me. He was on one side of the room, Mum was in the big bed, and me and Auntie June were in separate on the other side of the room in little cot beds. I remember Dad coming home in an army wagon with a canvas top, bringing some gifts for us for Christmas, but we weren't allowed to see him till Christmas. One was a wooden train for my brother that he used to sit on pedal with push with his feet. So he was only little, and I had a doll's pram. I was very lucky in those days because things was rationed.
Thanks for the interview.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I don't know much more about it. So I remember my uncle was in those days, bread and milk was delivered by a horse and cart. One was a bread van and one was a milk van, but it was pulled by a horse. And I can remember my uncle, although he'd done his shift at work, if there was a threat of a bombing, he had to go back to make sure if there was any sort of fire or anything from incendiaries, which used to drop onto the roof and burn, that the horses were out of the stables and things like that. I remember that, my uncle having to do that.
Okay, bye.
Okay, my darling. You're more than welcome. Did that help?
Yeah?
Right, you think that book will do you good?
Yeah.
To read about that. Oh, and one thing was, I was born in January 1939, and the cathedral was bombed. I was christened in Coventry Cathedral, and it was bombed just after I was christened. And my mum said it was my fault.
Okay.
I don't know why. She said I caused the war. Said because you'll know in that book all about it if you read it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, my darling.
Thank you to my interviewees, my Auntie Barbara and my Uncle Tony.
Well, that was Ralph Morgan there, our raving reporter, and next week Ralph will be travelling to space to look at Uranus. Coming up, 80s pop. See you after the news.
Interest rates are going up for the first time in 10 years, rising from 1/4 to 1/2%. The Governor of the Bank of England, Mark Carney, said the decision was taken to curb inflation